Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what really makes a woman gorgeous. And no, I'm not talking about magazine covers, filters, or how well you can contour your face. I'm talking about the kind of beauty that stops people in their tracks, the kind that turns heads, not just for a moment, but forever. You see, we've been sold a lie. We've been told that beauty is about perfection. It's not. Beauty is about presence. It's about how you show UP. And today, I'm giving you the 5 undeniable signs of a truly gorgeous woman. Number 1, confidence is magnetic. Have you ever walked into a room and seen a woman who just owns it? She might not be the tallest, the most fashionable, or even wearing makeup, but there's something about her. That's confidence. A gorgeous woman knows her worth, and she doesn't wait for permission to shine. Number 2, kindness is a superpower. Gorgeous women don't compete, they lift others up. They are the ones who smile at strangers, who genuinely listen, who make people feel seen. Why? Because real beauty isn't about being the best in the room, it's about making others feel their best. Number 3, authenticity stands out. The world is full of people trying to be someone else. But a gorgeous woman, she is unapologetically herself. She doesn't dim her light. She doesn't fake perfection. She embraces her quirks, her flaws, her messy, beautiful self. And that is stunning. Number 4, resilience is stunning. Life throws curveballs, and a gorgeous woman doesn't crumble, she rises. She's been knocked down, heartbroken, underestimated, but every single time she stands back up. That strength, that fight, that's what makes her breathtaking. And finally, number 5, passion lights up a room. A woman who is deeply passionate about something, whether it's her career, her family, her art, or changing the world, has a fire inside her. And trust me, nothing is more gorgeous than a woman on a mission. So ladies, let me remind you, gorgeous is not about fitting into a box. It's about breaking out of one. It's about the way you carry yourself, the way you treat others, the way you chase your dreams. The world doesn't need another airbrushed version of beauty. It needs the real you. So go out there, stand tall, be kind, be bold, be resilient. Because that, my friends, is the definition of a truly gorgeous woman. Confidence is not just about how you walk into a room. It's about how you walk through life. It's the way you carry yourself when no one is watching, the way you speak up when your voice shakes, and the way you believe in yourself even when doubt tries to creep in. Confidence is not something you're born with, it's something you build, and the most gorgeous women in the world, they've mastered this. Let's be clear, confidence is not arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than everyone else. It's about knowing your worth without needing external validation. It's that deep, unshakable belief that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. That belief radiates through everything. A woman who trusts herself, who knows what she brings to the table, doesn't need to seek approval. She walks with purpose. She speaks with conviction. She makes decisions without second-guessing herself 100 times. You can spot a confident woman the moment she steps into a room, not because she's the loudest, but because she doesn't shrink. She doesn't apologize for taking up space. She doesn't fidget, trying to make herself smaller. She owns her presence. She looks people in the eye, not because she's trying to prove anything, but because she is comfortable with herself. The truth is, confidence is attractive because it's rare. We live in a world that constantly tries to make women doubt themselves, telling them they're too much, not enough, too quiet, too ambitious, too passive. Confidence is the act of rejecting all those lies and deciding, I am enough as I am. That kind of self-assurance is like a magnet. It draws people in because it's refreshing. But here's where most people get it wrong. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's not about never feeling insecure. Even the most self-assured woman has moments where she wonders if she's doing the right thing. The difference is she doesn't let that doubt control her. She doesn't let fear keep her from showing up. She understands that confidence isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to act despite it. A confident woman is the one who raises her hand, even when she's not 100% sure of the answer. She's the one who speaks up in a meeting, even when her voice shakes. She's the one who takes risks, even when she's terrified of failing, because she knows that playing it safe won't get her anywhere. She understands that confidence isn't something that just appears, it's built through action. The more she steps outside of her comfort zone, the stronger it gets. Have you ever noticed that some of the most gorgeous women aren't necessarily the most traditionally beautiful? Yet, there's something about them that captivates you. That's confidence. It's the way they move, the way they laugh freely without worrying about looking silly, the way they express their thoughts without filtering themselves to please others. It's intoxicating because it signals that she is in charge of her own happiness. Confidence also transforms the way a woman reacts to challenges. A woman who is secure in herself doesn't crumble at the first sign of rejection. She doesn't break when someone criticizes her. She doesn't seek constant reassurance from others. Instead, she trusts herself to handle whatever comes her way. She takes criticism as feedback, not as a personal attack. She sees failure as a lesson, not as proof that she isn't good enough. One of the most powerful aspects of confidence is how it impacts relationships. A confident woman doesn't settle for less than she deserves, whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or professional environments. She knows her value, which means she won't tolerate toxic behavior, manipulation, or people who drain her energy. She doesn't chase people, she attracts them. She doesn't beg for love, she knows she is worthy of it. And because of that, the people in her life respect her. Building confidence is a process. It starts with small choices, choosing to stand tall, choosing to speak kindly to yourself, choosing to take action even when you're scared. It's in the way you talk to yourself in the mirror every morning. It's in the way you refuse to compare yourself to others. It's in the way you acknowledge your strengths instead of focusing on your flaws. The most gorgeous women in the world aren't the ones who look perfect. They're the ones who make you feel something. They inspire you. Not because of their appearance, but because of their energy, their conviction, their belief in themselves. They are the ones who aren't afraid to take up space, who aren't afraid to say, I deserve to be here. And that kind of beauty, it's unforgettable. Kindness is not just about being polite or saying the right things. It's about the way you make people feel when they're around you. It's in the way you listen, in the way you show up, in the way you choose to see the good in people, even when the world tells you to be cynical. There's something undeniably gorgeous about a woman who carries kindness in her heart, not as an obligation, but as a way of life. You've met women like this before. They walk into a room and something about them feels warm, like sunlight on a cold day. They make eye contact and actually listen, not just waiting for their turn to speak. They ask questions that show they genuinely care. They lift people up not because they have to, but because it's just who they are. They compliment strangers, support their friends, and even in moments of frustration, they choose grace over pettiness. This kind of kindness is powerful because it's rare. We live in a world where people are quick to judge, quick to criticize, quick to assume the worst. A kind woman stands out because she chooses a different path. She doesn't see kindness as weakness, she sees it as her strength. It takes courage to be kind when the world gives you reasons not to be. It takes confidence to respond to rudeness with calm, to meet negativity with unwavering self-respect. Genuine kindness isn't performative. It's not about doing nice things so that people will like you. It's about the quiet moments, the ones no one sees. It's when you check on a friend who's struggling, even if they haven't reached out. It's when you celebrate another woman's success without a hint of jealousy. It's when you choose to believe in someone before they even believe in themselves. This kind of kindness makes a woman radiant, because when you are kind, you create an energy around you that draws people in. People feel safe with you, not because you're perfect, but because they know you won't judge them for being imperfect. They know that with you, they don't have to pretend. And that kind of space, it's priceless. The most beautiful women in the world are the ones who lift others up instead of tearing them down. They don't gossip to feel powerful. They don't belittle others to feel superior. Instead, they understand that real power comes from making others feel seen and valued. A gorgeous woman doesn't compete, she collaborates. She doesn't see another woman's beauty, intelligence, or success as a threat. She sees it as proof of what's possible. Kindness also means being kind to yourself. It means not speaking to yourself in ways you would never speak to a friend. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes, showing yourself grace when you fall short, and allowing yourself to rest when you need it. A kind woman understands that she can't pour from an empty cup. She knows that taking care of herself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Being kind doesn't mean being a pushover. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. A kind woman knows how to set boundaries. She knows that kindness doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means respecting herself enough to say no when something isn't right for her. It means protecting her peace, choosing her battles, and giving her energy to the things and people that truly matter. One of the most remarkable things about kindness is how it ripples outward. When you are kind, you inspire others to be kind too. A kind word, a thoughtful action, a moment of patience that might seem small, but it can change someone's entire day. And when you consistently show up that way, you don't just change someone's day, you change their life. The most unforgettable women aren't just remembered for the way they look. They're remembered for the way they made people feel, for the way they created warmth in a room, for the way they made people believe in themselves a little more. That is the kind of beauty that never fades. There is something undeniably powerful about a woman who is unapologetically herself. She walks through life with a quiet certainty, not because she has everything figured out, but because she refuses to be anything other than who she truly is. She doesn't shapeshift to fit expectations. She doesn't water herself down to be more digestible. She owns her story, her voice, her personality, her quirks because she understands that her uniqueness is her strength. Authenticity is magnetic. People are naturally drawn to someone who is real because, in a world full of filters and facades, realness is rare. You can feel it when someone is being themselves. There's an ease about them, an unshakable energy that makes them stand out without even trying. They don't have to force conversation or seek attention. They don't have to impress anyone. Their presence is enough. A woman who is truly herself doesn't waste time worrying about whether people approve of her. She doesn't exhaust herself trying to fit into roles that don't align with who she is. She knows that no matter what she does, someone will always have an opinion. So she chooses to live in a way that feels right for her, not in a way that pleases everyone else. She trusts her instincts, follows her own path, and stays true to what makes her feel alive. Authenticity isn't about perfection. It's about embracing imperfection. It's about being honest about what you love, what you struggle with, what excites you, what scares you. It's about showing up as yourself, even when it would be easier to blend in. The most stunning women aren't the ones who never make mistakes, they're the ones who own them. They're the ones who laugh at their awkward moments, who admit when they don't know something, who speak their truth even when it's uncomfortable. There is a deep kind of confidence that comes with authenticity. When you stop pretending to be something you're not, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of seeking validation. You stop overthinking every move. You stop apologizing for your personality. You stop hesitating before you say what's on your mind. Instead, you step into a version of yourself that feels natural and effortless. And that energy, it's intoxicating. Authenticity also means refusing to be controlled by comparison. A woman who is comfortable in her own skin doesn't feel the need to measure herself against others. She celebrates other women instead of competing with them. She knows that someone else's beauty, success, or confidence doesn't take away from her own. She doesn't waste energy trying to outshine others because she knows her own light is enough. When a woman is unapologetically herself, she attracts the right people into her life. She doesn't have to chase relationships, friendships, or approval. The people who truly belong in her world will be drawn to her authenticity. She won't have to pretend, perform, or shrink herself to keep them around. The connections she builds will be real, deep, and fulfilling because they're based on who she actually is, not on some curated version of herself. Living authentically also means being willing to evolve. A woman who is true to herself isn't afraid of change. She understands that growth is a part of life, and she allows herself to expand, to learn, to let go of what no longer serves her. She doesn't cling to outdated versions of herself just because they're comfortable. She embraces the process of becoming, knowing that authenticity doesn't mean staying the same, it means staying honest. The most breathtaking women in the world aren't the ones who try to be like everyone else. They're the ones who own their uniqueness. They're the ones who don't dim their light to make others comfortable. They're the ones who have the courage to be seen exactly as they are. That kind of beauty doesn't fade. It doesn't depend on trends, approval, or outside validation. It's the kind of beauty that lasts a lifetime. Life will test you. It will throw challenges your way that you never saw coming. It will push you to the edge, knock you down, and dare you to stay there. But the most gorgeous women in the world are the ones who refuse to be defeated by what life throws at them. They don't just survive hardship, they rise from it stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. There is something breathtaking about a woman who has been through storms and still stands tall. A woman who carries the scars of her battles not as wounds, but as proof of her strength. Resilience is stunning because it means a woman has faced difficulty and refused to let it define her. It means she has fallen, failed, and struggled, but never lost herself in the process. She doesn't let setbacks make her bitter. She lets them make her better. She doesn't see challenges as reasons to give up. She sees them as opportunities to grow. Every hardship, every rejection, every heartbreak becomes another layer of her strength. She doesn't run from difficulty. She faces it head-on, knowing that she is capable of handling whatever comes her way. A resilient woman understands that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. She doesn't let one loss convince her that she's not good enough. She doesn't let one mistake make her doubt her abilities. Instead, she takes every lesson and uses it to move forward. She doesn't let fear control her decisions. She knows that growth often comes from discomfort, and she's willing to step outside of what feels safe to reach for something greater. You can feel the power of a resilient woman when she walks into a room. It's in the way she carries herself, not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence. She knows who she is. She knows what she has overcome. And because of that, she doesn't seek approval from others. She doesn't need validation to know her worth. She has already proven to herself that she is capable of handling life's toughest moments. And that belief in herself makes her unstoppable. There is also a deep sense of grace in a resilient woman. She doesn't waste time complaining about what went wrong or dwelling on what she can't change. She accepts what is and focuses on what she can do next. She refuses to be a victim of her circumstances. Even when things feel impossible, she finds a way to keep moving forward. She doesn't wait for someone to come and save her, she saves herself. But resilience isn't about never feeling pain. It's not about pretending that things don't hurt or acting like nothing affects her. A truly resilient woman allows herself to feel everything: pain, disappointment, frustration, but she doesn't let those emotions control her. She processes them, learns from them, and then decides how to move forward. She doesn't suppress her emotions, she understands them. And because of that, she comes out stronger on the other side. One of the most powerful things about resilience is how it impacts the people around her. A resilient woman inspires others to be stronger. She shows others that they, too, can overcome their struggles. She leads by example, proving that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you can always rise again. She doesn't just build herself up, she lifts others with her. She offers encouragement, support, and wisdom to those who are struggling, because she knows what it's like to be there. And that generosity, that willingness to help others climb even as she climbs herself, makes her even more beautiful. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a choice you make every day to keep going, to believe in yourself, to trust that you are capable of handling whatever comes next. It's in the way you respond to challenges, in the way you refuse to let life break you, in the way you turn pain into power. And that is one of the most breathtaking qualities a woman can possess. The most gorgeous women in the world are not the ones who have had an easy life. They are the ones who have been through fire and emerged stronger. They are the ones who have turned their struggles into stories of triumph. They are the ones who refuse to let anything, fear, failure, or hardship dim their light, because they know that no matter what happens, they will always find a way to rise. And that kind of strength, that kind of resilience, it is absolutely stunning. There is something captivating about a woman who knows her worth. She moves through life with an unshakable sense of self-respect, never settling for less than she deserves. She does not allow others to define her value, nor does she wait for permission to take up space. She understands that her worth is not determined by outside opinions, status, or validation. It is something that comes from within. And because of that, she carries herself with a quiet power that is impossible to ignore. A woman who knows her worth does not beg for love, attention, or recognition. She does not need constant reassurance to feel valuable. She does not lose herself trying to fit into someone else's expectations. Instead, she stands firm in who she is, embracing her strengths, her flaws, and everything in between. She knows that she is already enough. She does not chase people, she attracts the right ones by being authentically herself. This kind of self-respect transforms every aspect of her life. In relationships, she refuses to tolerate toxic behavior, manipulation, or half-hearted efforts. She does not settle for breadcrumbs of affection, she expects the full meal. She knows that real love should be mutual, healthy, and uplifting. If someone does not treat her with the love and respect she deserves, she has no problem walking away. She would rather be alone than in the wrong company. She understands that being in a relationship is not what defines her. Her happiness is not dependent on someone else. In friendships, she surrounds herself with people who uplift, inspire, and respect her. She does not waste time on people who drain her energy, take advantage of her kindness, or make her feel small. She chooses quality over quantity, knowing that a few genuine connections are far more valuable than a crowd of superficial relationships. She gives her love and loyalty freely, but never at the cost of her own well-being. At work, she does not shrink herself or downplay her abilities. She speaks up, takes initiative, and pursues her ambitions without hesitation. She does not wait for opportunities to be handed to her, she creates them. She does not tolerate being underestimated or undervalued. She asks for what she deserves, whether it's a promotion, a raise, or the respect she has earned. She knows that her skills, intelligence, and contributions have value, and she refuses to accept anything less. A woman who knows her worth also sets boundaries without guilt. She does not say yes out of obligation or fear of disappointing others. She understands that protecting her time, energy, and peace is not selfish, it is necessary. She does not overextend herself just to please people. She prioritizes her own well-being because she knows that she cannot pour from an empty cup. When she needs rest, she takes it. When she needs space, she claims it. She does not explain or apologize for taking care of herself. She also does not allow society to dictate her value. She does not measure herself by unrealistic beauty standards, social expectations, or outdated beliefs about what a woman should be. She does not let age, weight, or status define her. She embraces herself exactly as she is, knowing that her worth has nothing to do with external factors. She does not seek validation from likes, comments, or comparisons. She knows that confidence and self-love make her far more attractive than any physical feature ever could. This self-awareness gives her an undeniable sense of peace. She does not waste energy worrying about what others think. She does not feel the need to prove herself to people who do not matter. She moves through life with a sense of freedom, knowing that she is in control of her own happiness. She does not let criticism shake her, nor does she let rejection make her question her value. She understands that not everyone will see her worth, and that's okay. The right people will. A woman who knows her worth is also deeply compassionate, not just toward others, but toward herself. She does not beat herself up over past mistakes. She does not dwell on insecurities or let self-doubt dictate her choices. She treats herself with the same kindness she gives to others. She celebrates her achievements, no matter how small. She acknowledges her growth. She speaks to herself with love and encouragement, knowing that the relationship she has with herself sets the standard for every other relationship in her life. The most breathtaking women are not the ones who try to be perfect. They are the ones who own who they are, who love themselves fiercely, and who refuse to settle for anything less than they deserve. They do not compromise their worth for acceptance. They do not lower their standards to make others comfortable. They do not wait for permission to live fully. They step into their power and embrace it unapologetically. And that is a beauty that never fades. It is a beauty that cannot be bought, imitated, or taken away. It is a beauty that radiates from the inside out. Because when a woman knows her worth, she does not just shine, she sets the whole world on fire.